everyone, this video is about how to cite United States and state constitutions using the Fordham Undergraduate Law Review's modified Blue Book citation guide. Right now I have our citation and style guide opened on my computer, which you can access through the link in the description. And I'm just going to zoom in on the US and state constitution citation information. So there are 7 possible components to a US and state constitution citation that you can use in your footnotes. And the first element is the United States, or a state name abbreviated constitution, and CONST is the abbreviation for constitution. So you can see in the examples that US Const, and this is the abbreviation for the Arkansas Constitution, appears in the first component of the citation. And then the second component is the subdivision of the Constitution. So if you're citing an amendment, you indicate that you're citing the amendment using AMEND, period. If you're citing an article, you can do ART, period. Or if you're citing the preamble, that's PMBL, period. And then the third component is the subdivision number in Roman numerals. So if you're citing the 14th amendment, you would use the abbreviation for amendment and then the number 14 in Roman numerals. If you're citing Article 2, you would do article and then 2 in Roman numerals. The preamble doesn't have subdivision numbers, so for the United States Constitution preamble, that would be the full citation, is just US Const preamble. The fourth component is the section symbol with Arabic numerals. So usually in amendments and articles, there are multiple sections, and the section symbol followed by an Arabic numeral number indicates what section you're referring to. So if you're referring to, for example, Section 2 of the 5th Amendment to the United States Constitution, you would use US Const and then amend V, which is the Roman numeral for 5, and then a comma, and then the section symbol number 2. Clause, abbreviated CL, refers to the clause in the section of the subdivision you're referring to, and you indicate the clause with Arabic numerals. So in our third example here, we have Section 9 of the first article of the United States Constitution, second clause. So US Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2. If you're citing an amendment or any part of a constitution that has been repealed or amended, you can use parentheses to show when it was repealed or when it was amended. So for example, at the top here, we have Amendment 18, which was repealed in 1933, or Section 3 of Article 1, which was amended in 1913. So the short form of constitution for citing constitutions is ID. So you can't use supra or any other type of short form, just ID. And ID is only used when the immediately preceding footnote cites the same material. So if the immediately preceding footnote cites different material, you can just copy and paste the footnote again and cite it again, because we can't abbreviate a constitution footnote any more than it already is abbreviated. And with that, I am going to go to the United States Constitution. This is on the National Archives website. It's a great place to find the Constitution because you can filter it based on the articles and the sections. And it's pretty easy to find all of the components that you need for the Constitution footnotes or citations because the Constitution labels it. So we have the articles and then the section numbers. And you can see at the top on this page, we have Article 1, Section 1 through 10, Article 2, Section 1 through 4, etc. The clauses are the only things that are not labeled inherently in the Constitution, but it's pretty easy to determine what clause we're referring to because the clause just refers to the paragraphs. So Section 2, Clause 1 would be this. Section 2, Clause 2 would be right here. Clause 3, Clause 4, and Clause 5. So in our examples on the style and citation guide, if there's no clause, that just means that there was only one paragraph. And so we don't really need to say clause 1 if there's only, if it's one of one. But for example, section 9 of Article 1, we can go over here. Article 1, section 9. And if we wanted the second clause, this is the first clause, so second clause. So this is the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended clause. The last important thing to note is for the first component of the citation, U.S. Constitution or the state name, this is supposed to be in the small caps font, which is not available on Google Docs. So if you're writing your note on Google Doc, you can use normal capitalization and the editorial board will fix the small caps after you submit your final draft. If you're writing your note on a Word document, if you click Control-Shift-P, you'll get a box with font settings and you can check the box small caps and it will give you this font. So if you have any questions, please contact the Fordham Undergraduate Law Review's editorial board and good luck with your citations.